During Jesus' time on earth, he walked by the sea and taught by the sea. As his ministry went on, Jesus started performing miracles. Last week, we saw Jesus perform a miracle that showed his authority in the story of him healing a man on the Sabbath, which was against the rules. Have you ever felt as if you were in danger? Did you want someone to protect you? That's what happens in today's story of Jesus calming the sea. We're going to read that story from a storybook Bible today. Jesus and his disciples walked all over Israel. Everywhere they went, big crowds would gather to see Jesus. He talked a lot about the kingdom of God, but he didn't just talk about the kingdom of God, he showed the people what the kingdom of God was like. How? By doing amazing things, unbelievable things. Jesus called them signs that pointed to the kingdom of God. Today, we call them miracles. In Jesus' day, many people were afraid of the sea. Fishermen and sailors had to go out on the sea, which often put them in danger. Today, we have satellites that tell sailors when big storms are headed their way. But back in Jesus' day, it was hard to know when a big storm was coming. The sea was scary. One night, Jesus was on a boat with his disciples when a huge storm took over the sea. Their boat was going to sink, and the disciples were afraid they would die. Meanwhile, Jesus was asleep in the boat. The disciples woke up Jesus and said, "Hey, did you notice the storm? We're going to die." Jesus opened his eyes, looked at them, and said, "Why are you so afraid?" Then he turned to the storm, the giant storm that was sinking their boat, and said, "Stop it." And guess what? The storm stopped completely. The disciples couldn't believe what had just happened. Who can talk to a storm and the storm obeys him? Jesus was giving them a sign. In the kingdom of God, there was no danger from the sea because Jesus is the King of everything. Even the big, scary sea listened to Jesus. Wow, Jesus had so much authority. Even the wind and the waves obeyed at the sound of his voice. That kind of reminds me of what we've been learning about this summer, that God cares for, protects, and rescues his people. Just like Jesus cared for, protected, and rescued the disciples when he calmed the sea, Jesus does those things for us too. Today, you can learn more about this story by watching the Bible story video, or you can read it in the Bible in the book of Mark, chapter 4. Let's see what you can learn about God caring, protecting, and rescuing his people in today's Story by the Sea.